These workouts are not in the best interest of protecting our players heading into training camp, and I don't think they're in the best interest of us getting through an entire season. All of the things that players may want to do during the offseason have a direct impact on how well we can negotiate protections for them once the season starts. We sent out the guidance because we think that was in their best health and safety interests. Let's just say for some of the players who have practiced, we've made sure that they've heard the message. And as we bring the squad back in here again, Domonique, who was at one time the president of the Players Association, we're talking about super high-profile players involved here. Tom Brady, you've seen the video of it, Russell Wilson. What do you make of what Dee is saying here? Why is Dee Smith concerned about this?
Well, I think it's important because if you think that having a season is possible at this point, everything that we do in the offseason, I think, contributes to how likely it is that we have a season. Not just what it projects for a particular team's health, but what it projects to the public and the cities that these teams play. So I think he's right. The cost-benefit analysis in this particular situation seems pretty clear that it's not worth it to go out there on the field. Maybe you get a little bit better. Maybe your team gets a little bit better. But if everyone contracts or a number of people contract the coronavirus, then we may not even have a season, so it doesn't really seem to be worth it to me. I think Dee Smith is right.
Field?
You know something, Grady? I think what we're talking about here right now and what Dee Smith was referencing is not just direct impact, but also indirect impact. The fact that he mentioned that all of these workouts that are taking place, even if none of the players who are a part of these workouts end up contracting coronavirus during said workouts, this is about negotiating because there may well be a long, extended negotiation between the PA and the NFL owners about how they are going to handle the inevitable cases that will arise during the football season. And these guys, Tom Brady and Russell Wilson, are amongst the most influential names and faces in the NFL. By them taking part in these group-led workouts, they are basically telling other players, directly or not, hey, if I can do it, you can do it as well. Because we know that other players are going to examine what they're doing and try to do the exact same thing to keep up in the football preparation.
Tim Hasselbeck, what do you think?
Yeah, listen, Dee's point about it weakening the union's position in terms of, negotiating leverage is really the point here. Like, how can Dee go to the league and be like, listen, it's not safe for our players to be working out in your facilities until you prove to us that it's a safe environment to do that. The league is going to come back and go, wait a minute, your players literally are paying to go practice with each other on high school fields that are not taking the same precautions that we would in our facilities. Give me a break. Like, I think really what these star players are doing is just weakening the union's, any type of, negotiating leverage the union has in terms of being really concerned about player safety when it comes of guys coming together working out. And I will say this, to me, it's kind of a pathetic look for players. Like, your workout counts if you don't video it. Like, newsflash, like if you lift weights and don't hire somebody to video you doing it, like, you still get stronger. Like, to me, I don't know, these guys working out in chains and sunglasses, have drones flying overhead. Like, how pathetic for attention are we right now? Like, yes, you need to work out, you need to get ready, but why do you need to tell the world how hard you're working? Like, that to me is also kind of embarrassing and a bad look for some of these players.
All right, I get that part of it, but let me go back to the previous part of it, because Domonique, I'm just putting myself in the head of Tom Brady in this circumstance, and he's thinking, when we get to November and I'm playing lousy, no one's going to say, you know what, he wasn't allowed to work out back then. So I understand the mindset. I'm not saying he's right, but Domonique, I understand what he's thinking.
No, I get it also, but I mean, that's assuming that that whatever he does, whatever reps he's getting now is going to have some significant impact in November. I don't believe it does, but I do think that the players should come together and agree to not do this. Then no one gets any advantage in this way. And this is where the NBA's relationship and being more collegial with the NBA Players Association and the NFL's relationship being more antagonistic is where this pops up, because it is not in the best interest of the league as a whole. This is in nobody's best interest to have these players out here exposing themselves and sending a message to the public that it's safe to be out there in this time. So they should all come together and understand what's in their best interest is go home and figure out another way to get better that doesn't involve you exposing yourself and sending a message to the public that coronavirus is not a big deal.